So I've been sent this and I've been asked whether I could make a mould for someone with it. And I'm quite happy to try that. They want a really flexible mould, so I thought I would try the brush on silicone. Now, I've not tried the brush on silicone mould making yet with something as large as this. So what I'm going to do first is seal this all up because they want a nice glossy finish to it. So to have a glossy finished mould, you need a glossy finished blank start with. So what I've got here is the gloss sealer by Resin Cream. And I use this sealer for so many different things. It's brilliant. And I'm going to put it on using a sponge because I want it to have no brush marks in it. And I will give it 2 coats of the sealer to ensure that I've got a really nice finish. Now, the first coat's going to dry very quickly because it's going to be sucking and pour into the porous resin crate. If it doesn't dry quickly, what we can do is just give it a blast with a hairdryer anyway, and then that'll dry out lovely. Now this stuff makes your resin crate waterproof as well, which is always good, but you do need 2 coats of it, and you need to let it dry for 24 hours in between each coat if you want to make it waterproof. So that's had its first coat now. I'm just giving it a second coat, and that should give it its glossy finish that I'm looking for, and then we can let this dry and then proceed with making the mold out of it. I don't know if this is going to work with something this size, but I think it will. So you can see that's nice and glossy now. This is lovely and dry now, look, and it's really, really shiny. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm also going to do a little casting of this house I made. I used lolly sticks to make this. I made that a long time ago on my other channel. If you haven't checked out my other channel, then check it out. It's all sorts of crafts. So I'm ready to do this. All I need to do is weigh my resin. Resin. I will keep calling this resin throughout, and I apologise. It's silicone. All I need to do is weigh out my silicone equal amounts. So if I'm using 30 grams of silicone out of part A, I need 30 grams out of part B. And don't mix up too much. This cures really quickly. I mean, you can get a mold made in 30 minutes, easy and ready to use. And this is the new formula I'm using as well, where it pours much quicker. That's been out quite a long time, the new formula. I love this. And you save so much silicone by making it with this brush on stuff. And now all you need to do is give this a mix. You don't need to over mix this. Mix it for about, I would say this amount I would mix for about a minute at the most. Scraping the sides, scraping your stick, and then doing a figure of 8 in the middle. So that sort of speed. And when you get it, it comes with these silicone brushes, and these clean off really easily. Someone said to me in the comments, oh, that's fake. They don't clean off that easily. And they've never used it, and it really does, because I'm working straight on my silicone mat, and this is a different type of silicone. So it's not going to either stick to my silicone mat or stick to my brush. I will be able to get it off. Now this first coat, I'm quite meticulous about how I put it on so that you get all the details and everything that you need in your final casting. And also, it prevents any bubbles ruining your casting. So once I've got that on, all I'm going to do is pour a little bit in the middle like that, and then take my silicone brush and make sure I get all into all the details everywhere that I want it. Like I said, it's not going to matter at all by getting this on your silicone mat, and I'll prove that to you in a minute. Now this will stick, it's very sticky, so it will stick to this really well. But by brushing on the first coat, what that does is it makes sure that you get out any bubbles that are on the surface of this, and that you get a nice even coat, because you want to keep it as even as possible. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to work on something like this big, because I've never got hair there. I've never done anything as big as this in it. But I thought, well, why not try it? Now that should spread out on its own, or create a nice smooth finish to that. And then when that's cured, all I need to do is go over it with a few more coats. Now this I'm doing slightly differently. I'm holding this and doing it. I haven't made this glossy, and this has been painted and finished. But what I am, because I don't want it glossy, and all I'm doing again is brushing that in, making sure it gets into everywhere on that first coat. Okay, now we wait for that to dry. If you don't want to wait for it to dry, then you can blast it with a hairdryer. And now I've got that virtually dry. The leftover here that I've got, I'm going to pour that into this middle bit because I want to give that more strength. I also don't want to waste this silicone. Scrape all the excess out of my brush. And now I'm going to leave that to cure up for about 10 minutes before I do the next layer. So it's dry on my brush now, or cured. So all I need to do is take that out of there and I can reuse that pot. And then for this, all I need to do is pull the silicone out from between the prongs and it should just pull out. Now the prongs do come out after a while, but every time you buy a new pot of this, you get a new brush. So it doesn't matter because nothing lasts forever, does it? Now, this is dry or cured all the way around here. It's just this isn't quite cured where it's a little bit deeper there. So I'm going to leave it another 5 minutes and then I will mix up my next layer. I'll probably do 4 layers on each of these items. And there we go. My brush is now all ready to go again. Like I said, this doesn't stick to your silicone mats either, so that's great. Well, this has had 4 coats now, and so has the smaller one. I don't think I need to give any more coats to the smaller one. I normally would stop at 4, but because this is quite large, I don't want this to be flimsy if I can help it. So what I'm going to do is put a 5th coat on. I'm still not sure if it's going to work, because again, it might be a little bit too flimsy. What I'm using here, rather than the brush now for this last coat, is just lightly spreading it all over everywhere with my fingers. Now, if it is a bit flimsy, there is a way that you can still cast in a flimsy mould, and sometimes we do buy moulds that are a little flimsy. I don't know if this is going to be or not at this stage. You can see how much silicone you've saved, because normally we would put that in a box like that all the way round and then fill it right up with silicone, where now all we've done is coat it in it. So we'll let that cure now for about another 10 minutes and then we can demold it and see if it's worked or not. If it has, it's going to save me an awful lot of money in making molds that are large. Well, these should be cured now, so what I'm going to do is take the small one up first. I've got no worries about this one. And this will just peel off the mat like that. I'm going to cut off any excess that's dripped onto the mat. And then I'm going to go around and trim this off. And I like to leave a lip all the way around because that means it makes it easier for casting it. And I'll show you that in a minute. And now all we need to do is pull this apart. Roll it down. Oh, it's pulled the top off me thing because I only used hot glue to do that with, and that looks like it has cured up really well in there. When I want to cast that, all I need to do is pop it in there. So that lip around the edge then gives me something to hold onto. It does look like it's made a really good casting. And now this one. I am not sure about this one, like I said all along. And this is really going to be quite interesting to see what happens. I think there's 2 choices here. This could either work really, really well or could completely go wrong for the size of it. But we will see. Been round and I've trimmed that up slightly to make it easier to get up. And now let's get it up. And now we can remove this from its blank. Well, it's nice and glossy, there's no doubt about it. And it has kept its shape. It really has kept all those details in there. Lovely. I will go round and I will trim up all this underpour that happened, and that happens quite often with moulds. See, my concern is when I lay this down and cast on it, I'm going to get really flat bits here, but we will see. I've got to mix my resincrete up now, and because I'm mixing it quite a lot, I'm using a wider, flatter bowl to mix it in. It makes it much easier than mixing it in something this size. I'm also going to try out my new silicone whisk and see how well that works, because someone recommended that to me and I thought I would try it. So I'm going to put my water in. I need 240 grams of water. And if this isn't enough, then I can always mix up some more. Now, I usually not use a fork for mixing because I find that that is the easiest way to mix, but with this, we'll see how it does. I think it was one of my members that suggested this. Thank you, members. They always come up with some really great ideas. I don't think this is going to work. I do think this is going to cause it to go quite flat. It does look like it is. I think it's going to lose its roundness because it's so thin. But even so, it's a brilliant product for making amazing moulds with. I mean, I've made loads of moulds, just not as large as this one. And I use it quite a lot. I'll show you when I mix this one up. I'm not going to need nowhere near as much resin for this. I just had a thought, so hang on a minute. I'm going to see if I can get this resin-crete out of here. It's not going to cure up that quick. And that way I can probably use these bigger moulds. Got myself a pot here, and I'm going to put my sand in it. Put that in it there, and use that, hopefully, as a way of supporting that mould. I've only got white sand now. I'll take that out again. I need it a bit deeper. It doesn't matter if I mix these up. I've got loads of this sand. I buy it in bags because I use it so often. Let's move that around. Right, and now I'm going to put some water in that, because wetter sand will hold it a little bit better. Now let's put this in here like this. I should have done this much earlier than doing it now. Should have prepped it like this first. Move that around there like that. And now pour that resin-crete back in. Oh, hang on. I think that is going to support it, and that will make a massive difference to how this is going to finish. Well, it should allow me to get good quality casting from this, and it won't all be flat and dint in the middle. So I'm going to move this to somewhere level. So for this one, I have got smaller amount. I'm going to try this beater again. Oh, that has mixed it up really well and very quickly. So for smaller amounts, yeah, great. Look at it. Look at that, lump free straight away. I think I need a little bit more water in that. It's a tiny bit thick. I don't think I've put enough water in it. Let's put a bit more in. Oh yeah, that's brilliant. I will definitely be using that again. 5, I think I got of these little whisks, silicone whisks, for about £4. I'll link them in the description anyway, you can have a look. And now I'm going to pour this in. Now the first pour will pull out some impurities of this mould as well, because when I cast it, it had little tufts of grass and all that sort of thing that I'd put on it. So we'll leave that there like that. I will let these cure up, and then I'll show you how well they've worked out, or if they've not worked out at all. Well, these have all cured up now, enough for me to take them out of the moulds. The first thing I'm going to do is take that out of the sand, and it does look like it's left quite a decent impression. It depends on, because I had to rush it, obviously, because I mixed up my resin-crete. I didn't think about this until afterwards. So, as a result, it may not be in the full design. But the little house, look how easy that was to demold, and that's come out really well. Picked up a little bit of the fake grass, but the next casting I get out of that will be perfect. Oh, I love that little house. That's come out so well. I'm going to use that in something coming up. That's why I wanted to make a mold of it. So let's have a look at this. And even though, because obviously I dropped some sand in here when I was doing it, but overall I think that has come out really well. Let's get the original. You can see where I didn't push that bit down into the sand as much as the other one. I think that's come out really, really well. I love it. Ignore the sand because, again, like I said, that is just where I had to rush it because I panicked. But overall, a brilliant mould. Really has come out well. So you can make bigger moulds with it. You just have to have a little bit of a support structure with it, which is going to make life a lot easier for me going forward. And also, you can definitely make smaller moulds out of it. We know that anyway. I love this brush on silicone. It saves you a fortune. It goes ever such a long way. And the great thing is, it gives you nice, flexible and translucent moulds. So if you're making moulds for UV resin, you can use this and the light will shine all the way through it. I hope you've enjoyed that. This is ideal for a beginner as well. If you're nervous about making moulds, then this is the way to go, because it really is quick and it also gives a great result. Be sure to check out the video I've got coming up next on other projects that I've used this on. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, enjoy your resin. Take care. Bye.